bugs and snakes out of the clay so that they're even and they're not all buggered up. The best way I have found, because I can't quite get my hands out flat all the way, and when I roll them like this, obviously I can't go all the way down with them, but they always turn out like lopsided and bumpy and all that stuff. So what I do is I use a little piece of acrylic. You can get these in thicker pieces from like Amazon or your craft supply stores, but you could also get like a little piece of acrylic frame or a acrylic window from a picture frame. I wouldn't use glass because it's more likely to break, and you don't normally have tempered glass on picture frames. But I know a lot of them now will have the plastic or the acrylic uh, picture window. You can always use that as a cheap alternative or as an easy alternative. I'll take this and I just set it down on the clay and roll nice and smooth, applying even pressure on both sides, and it will make a nice even um, piece of clay here. Works out really nice. Now, the further you go, I will show you this. The further you go with clay when you're rolling it out, the longer you roll it, you're going to find that it starts caving in on the ends. And if you're doing something where you are dependent on those ends not caving in, then that can be a bit of a tricky thing, like with making chains. You can always just press them back in. It's a little harder sometimes or whatnot, bang still on the table, but you're still always pretty much going to get a little bit of concave there. So if you pinch the ends like this, so that they're kind of flat on the end, then you can roll them out without having quite as much of the concave area on the end. So that's what I'm going to do, just to kind of show an example. You don't want to go too far or you'll start getting the concave center, the concave end. You just go ahead and pinch it again and roll it some more. Now, because this only goes so far, I ended up making this. It's a piece of, it's polyester resin, is what it is. It's kind of funny shape because I didn't use an actual mold, and I did some testing of some different types of colorants and stuff on it. So, and then I just put glitter on this side, but this side is nice and smooth and flat, so I can use it just the same as the little piece of acrylic there. And this is also an option to be able to do, just pour yourself a little piece of resin, pour yourself some resin into a little square, and that'll work too. So there we go. And then when you have the little ends, they're not quite as concave as they would be if I would have not pinched them. You just kind of press them in, or you can always just chop off the ends. It just depends on what your project is and what you're doing. But make sure that you keep your knives sharp, because otherwise you'll get a lot of mushing. And the warmer the clay is, the more it will mash when you go to cut it, especially on small pieces, unless you're really careful. So uh, just remember, you want to condition your clay, but you don't want to overwork it. Otherwise, it gets a little bit messy trying to do this. So that's my suggestions or my thoughts. I hope it helps someone, and I hope everyone has a great